Hello and welcome to another video. So in our last video, we added OpenStreetMap data, brought it into ArcGIS Pro and gave all buildings a height of 5 meters. However, in reality, all buildings aren't the same height. In this video, we're going to look at some quick steps you can take to give buildings different heights. If we zoom into this end of Stroud Green and have a look at this area, we'll see we've got several different types of buildings, all with differing heights. When we look at Street View, you'll see what we mean. So here we've got several blocks of flats, which are all 3 stories. We've got houses, which are all 1 or 2 stories. We navigate around here. We've got some garages around the back, which are also 1 story. So we've got 1, 2, and 3 story buildings all in the same area. What I'm going to show you how to do very quickly is create a feature class in ArcGIS Pro, give it a height attribute, and then use that to give the buildings individual heights. So in ArcGIS Pro, I've navigated to the correct area. The first thing I'm going to do is create a new feature class. I'm going to create this in my Newbury database. I'm going to right click on the DO database, select new, go new feature class. I'm going to give it a suitable name. I'm going to leave it as a polygon. I'm going to click next. I'm going to click here to add a new field, and I'm going to call that floors in this example. And for the drop down, I'm going to make that a short integer. Then I'm going to click next. I'm going to leave it on British National Grid. Next again, next again, next again, and finish. Give that a second. That should be added to my map. Okay, once building height has been created, I'm just going to click on that and drag that into my map here. As we can see, that's loaded into the table contents. I've got my map view selected, so I'm just going to start editing that straight away. I'm going to click on create, building height. I'm going to start digitizing. Okay, so I've added 3 buildings in there. The next thing to do is update the attribute tables for those buildings. Now we know those blocks of flats with 3 stories. I'm going to right click on building height, go to the attribute table, and where it says floors, I'm going to make that 3 for all of them. Press enter. So now we've got 3 polygons with an attribute height of 3 floors for each. I'm now going to pause the video, digitize the rest of the area, and update the attribute table for all of them. Okay, so now I've finished digitizing all the buildings, and I've updated the attribute table with the number of floors for each polygon. In order that you can see that, I'm just going to quickly label them. So with building height selected, I'll click on label, I'll hit the tick, I'll do the field drop down, I'll select that as floors, and now we can just see the number of floors that we've got for each building. So we've got some houses with 2 stories, a little 1-story house there. Then we've got some blocks of flats around the back, 3 stories, and then in between each of those, we've got some garages that are just 1 story. So with that done, I'm going to go back to edit, save my edits because I'm happy with those, and then I'm going to copy that into my 3D viewer. So I'm going to copy that building layer, click on the map, the 3D scene, which is on the right hand side, and paste that in there. Okay, so now that feature class is added to the 3D scene, there's a few changes we need to make. With the layer selected in the table of contents, if you go to appearance, and the first thing we need to do is make sure in the right location. So right click on buildings, go down to properties. With elevation selected, you want features on the ground, okay? So click the top one. Do that and your features should appear on the ground. At the moment, you'll notice they're flat. So we're going to extrude them next. So I'm going to select minimum height and I'm going to build an expression. So because I've used floors and ArcGIS Pro is going to think the heights are in meters, I need to times the number of floors by the height of the floor. So I'm going to pick 4 meters for a floor. So I'll click times 4. I'll hit the little green tick just to ensure the expression is valid, and I'll press OK. And there we have it. We can turn labeling off, we don't really need that on. But now we've got a series of buildings that all have a different height based on how high they should be in real life. Now, as I've said before, in an ideal world, you might get some vector data that already has the heights in there. That's perfect, so you can use that. However, if you don't have it, then this is a very quick way, I think you'll agree, to get those heights in there. What's missing from this at the moment? So the colors still aren't right. We still don't have accurate roofs on these buildings. So this is just a very quick method to get flat roofs on all your buildings. So in a future demo, I'll show you how to use multi-patch in order to get pitched roofs on your buildings. Thanks for listening and stay tuned for the next video.